What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with a little bit more commentary on Destiny, more specifically Destiny Rise of Iron. And today we're going to be talking about the Silver Dust economy, or the Silver Dust nonsense, as I referred to it, that now exists in the game since Rise of Iron came out. And I believe this is just another kind of shameless cash grab from Bungie, and most likely Activision has a lot to do with this, where they just are going to try to milk players of more money for simple cosmetic items that now exist in the game. Now, if you weren't aware, when Rise of Iron was being teased and when it came out, they actually put a new system in the game where you have ornaments for your exotic weapons, where you can give them a different look versus their standard skins. These are basically weapon skins. And also with the Rise of Iron armor you can get from your Rise of Iron accomplishment book, they have ornaments that go with those as well that give you kind of the cool flaming appearance that so many people saw in the trailers and thought looked really cool. And overall, Bungie kind of came out saying, we're going to let people have a more unique cosmetic design of their character, and everybody was all excited about this. I personally thought it was going to be a good idea for them, because the one thing that Destiny really lacks is character creation. You do get to create your character at the start, but you still, for the most of the game, remain kind of a nameless, faceless character. And everybody's armor winds up looking the same most of the time. So it's kind of cool that they were going to put in this whole ornament system. Now, unfortunately, they didn't tell you much about how you would go about acquiring these until right before the expansion launched and when the expansion came out. So now you have these Radiant Treasure mystery boxes that you can buy from, of course, from Eververse. Or you can also get them from playing the game. Now, I honestly didn't have much of a problem with these little boxes when they did them with the April update, because they gave you the opportunity to earn 3 of them a week. And from those boxes you could get new ships, you could get the armor pieces, you could get the chroma you had to put into the armor pieces. And getting 3 a week from playing the game actually was pretty good. They gave you one for free at the Postmaster, you could get one for playing Prison of Elders, and you could get one from playing the weekly Crucible playlist. And that was good. That kind of rewards gameplay. It kind of allows people to play the game and do different activities to get things, which I think should exist in any game. You should be able to earn things by actually playing the game. Now, having the Silver Dust in these new Radiant Treasures is moving more towards sort of a free-to-play mechanic, where they're only allowing you to earn 1 box per week by playing the game, and you have to go in and play the only way I know of right now to get these is you have to play the Siva Crisis playlist, which is the 350 light strikes, and you can get 1 box per week doing that. And that's not per character, that's 1 box per week for your entire account. So they went from 3, where they gave you 1, and then you could play to get the other 2, down to just 1, where you have to actually go in and play the 350 strikes to get 1 of them. And of course, if your light level is not high enough yet, you're not going to be able to accomplish that. So they've kind of made it a little more difficult to acquire these Radiant Treasure boxes by just playing the game normally. And I have a problem with this because, like I said, this is kind of a free-to-play game mechanic that you're starting to see more and more in these AAA titles. And I really have a big problem with that, because this is a game that most people, if you're still playing Destiny, you've probably spent, even if you just bought the base game and the expansion, and the expansion pack that came out with the first game and the Taken King, you've probably spent at minimum between $150 and $170 on this game already. And yet to get some of the just basic items and features like armor customization, you've got to pay more money to get it. I know people are going to say, oh, you can play the game and get the box, but I'm going to explain why. Honestly, I think this is more of a way to get people to spend more money in the cash shop here in just a second. But I have a big problem with this. Now, I play a lot of other games that have microtransactions. Warframe is a huge example of that. But in Warframe, you can earn most of the stuff in the game by just playing the game. Yeah, it's going to take you a little bit longer, but you don't have to spend the money. And in Destiny now, it's almost like if you want to get these, get the Silver Dust that comes in these boxes to use these exotic ornaments, you almost have to spend money, or it's going to take you an inordinate amount of time in order to get these little items for your armor and your weapons. I've done a couple of calculations on some of this stuff, and it just seems to be ridiculous. And before you give me the tired old excuse of, but Techno Viking, these gaming companies, they have to make money, they have to earn money, they're earning a living, they have to pay bills. Activision last quarter made a net profit. That's what's left over after they paid all their bills of $1.6 billion. $1.6 billion. That's Activision. I'm not sure what Bungie made, but I'm sure they're getting a nice chunk from Destiny. I'm pretty sure of that. So before you hit me with that argument, just shut up. Because I don't feel sorry for any game developer of any AAA title because they are not hurting for money. Their employees are not struggling to get by. Like I said, Activision last quarter, $1.6 billion. And this is the reason why Activision keeps putting this garbage into Destiny. And as I've said many times before, Activision has final contractual control of what happens with Destiny. I'm pretty sure most of these ideas for microtransactions and paid DLC are coming down from them. And Bungie, unfortunately, had a bad lawyer when they did this contract, and they're at Activision's mercy pretty much on everything. So, although, given the staff that's left at Bungie and the way they act now, I'm pretty sure a lot of them are still kind of in this money-grubbing culture that Activision exists in. But overall, let's not use the they're hurting for money excuse, because that's obviously not the case. And again, this is a reason Activision keeps doing this, is because they are making so much money from doing these practices in games now, because I don't know if it's just a younger gaming crowd, if it's just a gaming crowd that doesn't have any standards with gaming, if they just don't care about this kind of stuff. But until people start making a stand against it, you're going to see it more and more and more, and it's going to come to the point you're going to start having to pay $60 to $80 for a title, and then you're just going to continue to get these BS microtransactions all the time, which is what we're now seeing with Destiny. But I'm going off on a tangent there. Let me get back onto my original point of the video, which was to talk about the silver dust. So when you get one of these Radiant treasure boxes and you open it up, you're going to get an ornament, a random ornament, so you're kind of at the mercy of RNG, and you're going to get 1 silver dust. You're also going to get a random item that could be a reputation booster. It could be an iron ornament, which you need to actually put these, or an iron armor ornament that you have to actually put onto your Days of Iron armor. If you don't have those, you can't actually put the new cosmetic on there, even if you have enough silver dust. So those are the items you can get in these boxes. And each box costs 200 silver, and you can get 500 silver for about $5, so it's about $2 per box is what you're looking at if you want to buy a box of the Radiant treasure, since you can only get one a week from playing the game. So you buy that box, you get your ornament. Now, Xur also does sell ornaments. He's another way you can get ornaments. But as many people know, and this is where a lot of these complaints have been stemming from, Xur sells these ornaments for 25 silver dust. 25 silver dust, okay? Now, if you dismantle one of your ornaments that you get out of this box, I believe you can get 5. I believe you get 5 silver dust for dismantling that. Yeah, it's 5 silver dust. So that'll allow you to pretty much put on 5 cosmetic items. But the problem is, again, you have to get the ornament to be able to put it on. And that's RNG through the boxes. So if you think about that, in order to just to get 25 silver dust to buy the ornament that you might want from Xur, you would have to dismantle 5 other ornaments. So if you just do it normally by playing the game, it would take you 5 weeks just to get enough to buy an ornament that Xur would sell. 5 weeks. You know, that seems a bit, and that's just to get one. That's just to get one. That seems a bit ridiculous in my opinion. And the other funny thing is the iron armor that drops from your iron achievements, which everybody, wants to have that awesome fiery, kind of look to it. It looks like you're, have flames on the inside of your chest piece and your armor pieces. It's pretty cool. You actually need 5 silver dust to install those ornaments. Most other things only take 1 or 2, but you need 5 silver dust per iron armor piece in order to install that cool flaming effect. So there you go. That's 20 silver dust just to install that entire set. Plus you need the iron armor ornament, which comes from these boxes as well. So that's a lot of that's a lot of grinding. That's a lot of time just playing the game normally to acquire these items. It would take you an inordinate, if I can freaking talk today, amount of time to actually get this by playing the game normally, to get it for free by just playing the game. It's insane. Just insane to get 5 silver dust, though. If you want to buy it from the store, it would cost you $10 in silver in order to buy the equivalent amount of Radiant treasure boxes to get that amount. It's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. $10 per armor piece, if you think about that. If you're going to buy the Radiant armor or buy the Radiant treasure box, $10 per armor piece. So if you want to just do it by buying it at the store, you can spend $40 and upgrade all your iron Days of Iron gear. That's ridiculous. Now, I don't know really if there's any solutions for this. Of course, the crowd saying Bungie has to make money is going to come out of the woodwork and defend them to the death like they always do. I'm not sure. I don't like to get into politics, but it's almost like Bungie fanboys and Bungie apologists. They're like Hillary Clinton supporters. All they can see is what the other people do wrong. Their own person that they're supporting does a lot of horrible crap, but they just completely ignore it. So I started to compare Desticles to Hillary Clinton supporters almost, because they're just completely oblivious to reality and what's going on behind the scenes. But that's going to be about as much political talk as you'll hear from me. I don't like to get into that because people get really mad about it most of the time. And if anybody asks, no, I'm not a Donald Trump supporter. I think this election this year is going to be awful. I don't think we have any good candidates right now. So that'll put that to bed before it even starts. So anyways, like I said, this whole thing just feels like a really cheap cash grab by Bungie. And they know it's going to work because they did this with the treasure boxes of the April update. Everybody wanted to get that cool Taken armor, and you saw kids posting on the forums bragging about how they spent like $50, $60 on the treasure boxes and on silver at the store just so they could unlock these cosmetics. So they know they've got the audience for it. They know that people are going to buy it no matter what. They know the YouTubers are going to support the idea. It's really funny because I've actually seen a lot of complaints about this silver dust on Reddit and on the Destiny forums, but not one of the YouTubers is talking about it. And I always find that really interesting, how anytime there's a little bit of controversy or something with the game that people might not be a fan of, the Destiny YouTubers don't say a word. I'm for the most part. Some of them have mentioned things in the past. There's a couple that will get slightly critical from time to time. But for the most part, they usually just keep the company status quo and they just keep their mouths shut. They don't want to upset the boat or rock the boat any. And that gets really frustrating to me because they have so many followers and they have so many people that just blindly do, kind of support what they tell them to. So this silver dust thing is definitely going to work. It's going to make Bungie a ton of money. I personally am not going to support it. I think it's ridiculous to have to spend money for cosmetic items in a AAA title, which you've already spent quite a bit of money on. If this was a free-to-play game where that was where they made some of their money to put back into the game, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But like I said, there's games, I play plenty of free-to-play games that have microtransactions. I always use Warframe as an example because I think despite the fact that DE's gotten kind of bad lately with getting content into the game that it's meaningful, they still put most of the money back into Warframe. People spend money on cosmetics, they spend money on platinum, and then every month or two, DE is always putting a huge update into Warframe. They're adding new Warframes, they're adding new weapons, they're adding new maps. They're putting all kinds of stuff for free. You don't have to pay for any of that. You don't have to spend a dime on it, and basically you get the benefit of all the people who buy stuff in the cash shop. Whereas with Destiny, it's a AAA title. It's got a AAA developer. It's got a AAA publisher who's making money hand over fist, who doesn't really need any extra money. And they decide to put this kind of free-to-play mechanic into the game. It's maddening. It makes no sense. This should not exist in a AAA game. And unfortunately, it's starting to exist in a lot of our AAA games, and people have been critical of this, but unfortunately, too many people actually buy the games. It's kind of like the Call of Duty phenomenon, where every year people complain and scream about how bad Call of Duty is, how they don't like the microtransactions, how crappy the games become, how boring it is, how it doesn't change, and it still sets record sales every year. So it seems like the people that are critical of these things just tend to be a more silent minority, I guess, because obviously not enough people are that mad about it where they're putting a dent where they would be noticed, which would be in the company's pocketbook. So until people just stop accepting this nonsense in their AAA games, it's only going to get worse. And it's just another reason why I'm really looking forward to building my gaming PC and kind of getting out of this whole console thing, because it's just nonsense. And I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below. As usual in the comment section, do you think this silver economy thing is good? Do you think it's bad? Are you like me, or you think it's just ridiculous that you have to, really, if you want to get these cosmetic items in any kind of timely manner, you're going to have to open up your wallet and spend actual money. And I think that's absolutely insane, especially given the fact that Bungie does not put a lot back into this game. If you think about how much they've given you back in terms of content for the amount of money you've put into Destiny, for the amount of money they're probably making on these microtransactions, which I'm sure is significant, because if you look on the PlayStation and the Xbox stores, one of the highest selling items every month is the silver from the Eververse store. People are buying these silver packs. They are spending money on silver. They're spending money on these microtransactions. So Bungie's obviously making a good amount from that because they keep doing it. They keep adding new things in. But to me, it's like they're not putting it back into the game. A Rise of Iron for $30 was a joke of an expansion in terms of content. There was really nothing in this expansion. The April update was kind of a joke in terms of the content they put back in. And then saying, oh, we're going to do Festival of the Lost or Sparrow Racing. Ooh. That's lackluster. That's meaningless. That's not actual meaningful content being put back into the game. So, and like I said a million times, if it's a free-to-play game and that's your main source of income and that's how you create and design more content for the game, then I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. But we're talking about million and billion-dollar companies here who are just taking your money and giving you crap in return. And I have a problem with that. And I've always had a problem with that. And that's one of the main issues I still have with Bungie. And I just wonder what the hell happened to them. I know a lot of their guys left, and it's just a shame. Anyways, guys, I've rambled on for far too long on this subject. Like I said, I would love to hear your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this. We can have a little bit of a discussion on it, as usual. That's going to do it for me, guys. I hope you're having a great weekend. As always, hope you're having a great day. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time.